Has that come today? Is it happening by accident? Well, then what is the explanation for these mysterious events which are unfolding in the world today? And therefore, what is the explanation of the Arab uprising? They call it the Arab Spring, in which we have had the events of Tunisia and the departure of the President Zainuddin bin Ali with that uprising, popular uprising. And then, what's his name now? We've forgotten it, the Egyptian one. Hosni Mubarak. In the popular Egyptian uprising. And now we see uprisings taking place in other parts of the Arab world as well. What is going on? What is the explanation? By ruling the Arab world. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Israel will have to subdue the Arabs. Israel will have to establish an Israeli political and economic dominion over the Arab world, because that's the beginning of ruling the world. And so now we're beginning to see some light. Now that we have understood from our Islamic eschatological perspective, ilmu akhir al-zaman, that Israel wants to rule the world. We know that Israel will have. In the Arab world, there is one country which is more important than all the rest. Which one is that? It's Egypt. Why Egypt? Again, it's only ilmu akhir al-zaman which can answer that question. In the Bible, they rewrote, they put it with their own hands in the Bible, in the Torah, that the Holy Land extends from the river of Egypt, the river Nile, to the river Euphrates. All of this is the Holy Land. That's false. When we go to the Quran and we go to the Ahadith of Nabi Muhammad ﷺ, we know that this is false. But it's there. So for Dajjal to convince the Jews that he is indeed the Messiah, the state of Israel will have to extend its frontiers to encompass the biblical frontiers, the false biblical frontiers of the Holy Land. And so now we can understand why NATO is in Iraq, up to the Euphrates, occupying this territory, because Israel has to reach the Euphrates. But what about Egypt? They're not going to leave. They wanted Libya for a particular reason that our Muslim brothers could not understand. Eating halwa. They wanted to be in Libya because Egypt is the target. And you have to send in ground troops into Egypt. You can't do it with drones as you're doing it in Pakistan. And so now with the success in Libya, when Israel launches her attack on Egypt, Israel will launch the attack from the east, and NATO will launch the attack from the west, ground troops. This is in addition to the air, and this is in addition to a naval blockade of Egypt. Will the Egyptian government survive? Will the Egyptian state survive? Given the pathetic state of Islamic scholarship today, because it's the ulama, they are the guides of the ummah, not the excellencies, the ministers of government, nor the newspapers, and nor the television sets. The ulama of Islam, these are the guides of the ummah. And given the pathetic state of Islamic scholarship today, I see no reason why it's going to hurt the Egyptians, and we have a few Egyptians here tonight, I believe. It's going to hurt the Egyptians for me to say this. I don't see any obstacle in the way of their achieving their objective in Egypt. But they're not going to stop with simply seizing the Eastern Delta. They're going to break up Egypt into small bits and pieces, so that the small bits and pieces can never pose a threat to Israel.
الحديث يقول يخرج معه يهود أصبهان 70,000. قلت فيها يهود؟ قالوا هناك منطقة كلها يهود. المخلص، من المخلص؟ يقصدون الدجال، يقصدون المسيح الدجال. يظنون أنه سيخلصهم لكنه سيرديهم. يتبعه 70,000 من يهود أصبهان.
This is a different place in Tehran. Is it easy to be Jewish here?
Yes, it's very nice here. They let us be. All the rest is just lies. Here we have fun with Muslims. We laugh together, and no one bothers us. I can't obviously guzzle booze in front of the mullahs, but I ring.
I want the Imam to stop me before I give you some ahadith. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, the Dajjal will ride on a donkey. The donkey would travel as fast as the clouds. The donkey will have his ears stretched out wide. We have interpreted the hadith to say that that donkey is already here. That flying donkey is already here. It's the modern aircraft. And the overwhelming number of Muslims out there who listen accept that this is correct.